This week on Outdoor Oklahoma, we take a virtual tour across our great state, getting reacquainted with Oklahoma's diverse trout fishing destinations. So grab your fishing gear and favorite road trip snacks and come along right now on Outdoor Oklahoma. Well, hello and welcome to Outdoor Oklahoma. I'm Todd Craighead. You know, it still surprises me when I run onto folks that have no idea about the great trout fishing opportunities we have in our great state. You know, from border to border, Oklahoma boasts 10 different public waters to trout fish. Today I'm here at Robbers Cave, and pardon my rusty French, but I'll be fishing on the Fouche Maline here in a little bit. You know, we have plenty of great opportunities for the experts clear down to the novice. And today we're going to take a virtual road trip across the state as we revisit some of our favorite trout fishing episodes over the years. First up on our little road trip is all the way to the tip of the panhandle at Black Mesa State Park.
Okay, Oklahoma has many great trout fishing opportunities all across the state. Some of our year-round fisheries, like down at Broken Bow on the Lower Mountain Fork, but then we also have wintertime fisheries in southeast Oklahoma, southwest Oklahoma, and even some of the urban areas. We're out here at Lake Carl Etling today, and this is another one of our trout fishing areas. And it's a pretty unique trout fishery because it sits right here at the foot of Black Mesa. It's a beautiful area, and it's a great place for our anglers to come out and enjoy a beautiful setting and catch some trout.
Oklahoma Game Warden Rusty Menifee here. Hey, we're out here at Lake Carl Etling today. A lot of things going on at Lake Etling. One of the exciting things is the trout fisheries here. We stock trout here to put take deal. It starts November 1st. The bag limit on trout is 6 trout per day. We've abolished the trout stamp, so all you need is a fishing license or exemption from that. Lake Etling is the furthest west lake in Oklahoma. It's actually owned by the Wildlife Department. It's about 168 surface acres. So it's not a big reservoir, but it's a nice, pretty little reservoir. It's in the state park here, Black Mesa State Park. So there's camping. There's lots of neat things in the area. We've got Black Mesa, which is the highest point in the state, 4,972 feet. You can see quite a bit of wildlife. It's very diverse here. We've got 172 bird species that could be seen in the county. We've also got lots of big game. We've got whitetail, mule deer, antelope, as well as elk. A lot of very diverse wildlife out here in the far end of the panhandle.
Well, next up on our little virtual road trip is the trout area that I probably frequent the most simply because it's just a few miles from my house. It's Delisi Youth Park Pond in Oklahoma City. It's one of 2 of our close to home waters that offers trout fishing, the other being Veterans Park Pond in Jinx.
Got one, Bella. looky there. You want to come help me? Hold on, little buddy. We use power bait to catch our fish. That was a yellow power bait. Put them on the stringer here. Around 7 to 9 inches is a good tasting fish. Anything after that, you gotta grill them. Sometimes they get too big for the skillet, and that's the way we like to eat them, right? What's your favorite part to eat? Yep. Around 7 to 9 is usually what they stock it with, but we've been pulling some big ones out of here though. The only suggestions I would have is try to make it as fun as possible. You know, show them how fun it could be by, you know, picking out your own pole and letting them bait it themselves, and show them how fun it could be hanging and being with your family. That's what started us into fishing. Start putting our stuff up. Put your stuff up and we'll start reeling your poles in. Okay, leave it there. Stop. Okay, come get your bags so we can go. You sure you don't want to carry them? Okay. I'm not hungry. Come on. Keep walking. Keep walking. Let's go see home. See if Mom's home.
Well, now we're going to go from the largest metropolitan area of the state to a quaint little town in southwest Oklahoma where you can trout fish, Medicine Park.
Originally, I'm from Holland. I didn't start fishing till I was probably in my 40s. And when I caught that first fish, I was hooked. But I think my most favorite is trout fishing. So just love it. They put up a good fight, and they're really fun to catch. So I even fish when it's cold, where you have to make a hole in the ice. You know, just where everything freezes up and you have to thaw it out, you know, turn the heater on in your vehicle. And so I'm kind of, I guess, addicted, what you call it.
We use a double hook catfish rig with power bait on a number 10 hook.
I usually catch the largest, but he catches the most.
We've seen fishermen from all over the state of Oklahoma, plus several other states. We would come in from Missouri, Mississippi, Texas. The fishing, I think this year brought an influx of people that would have never came to this town. Because once they seen and heard about the trout fishing, they came here and they got a little extra out of it, you know. They got to visit a town that they didn't really know existed in Oklahoma. It sits right at the edge of the wildlife refuge, so they're less than 3 miles from going into one of the premier refuges in the country. The thing that has also been a plus for this area is the kids that you've seen fishing this year here. A lot of families. We've seen just tons of families come out and fish on weekends.
I'm not the best fisherman in the world, but I like to wet a hook every once in a while. And it's not because there's not fish here, it's because I am not the best fisherman in the world. Wasn't too interested in it, but when they started stocking the trout and I learned of it, that's when I started coming down here pretty regularly. So this has been a pretty good deal for me. It's just a pleasant place to be. Plus, if I get tired of trout fishing, I can just pop over and go up to the dam and fish for crappie or whatever. And I'll tell you, personally, I wasn't much into fishing before. I'm more of a hunter, but this has kind of got me back into the fishing atmosphere, if you know.
Next up on our little virtual road trip is down to southeast Oklahoma. It's probably the most popular and arguably the most scenic place to trout fish in our state, the Lower Mountain Fork River.
Thanks for joining me today at the Lower Mountain Fork River on my first fly fishing trip.
Well, I appreciate it, Rachel. I'm glad to be the one to show you the way, and we're going to learn a few basics today and hopefully catch a fish.
Awesome.
One of the most beautiful places, if not the most beautiful place in Oklahoma, the Lower Mountain Fork River. Okay, you are that's a really nice drift, so be ready.
All right.
Lip, whoop, whoop. You got him.
I did.
Rod in the air.
It's
Rod
in
tip
here.
up.
What do I do? Just pull?
Rod tip up. You got him. Keep your rod tip up. Keep your line tight. You're doing good. That's it. Keep it up.
Let him get tired.
Here. No, we're okay.
Get him, Mr. C! Got him? Yay!
There's your first trout, girl.
First trout, little rainbow.
All right. Let's see what we got. Okay, he took the he took the fly jig.
Well, I have always wanted to go trout fishing, and I finally have got to with Mr. C here. And as much as I would love to catch a brown trout, I caught a rainbow trout. Uh-oh.
Which is fine.
Yep.
They're all good.
A trout is a trout.
Yep. And he is slippery.
He is slippery. I got a good grip. I'm not scared of a
Okay,
little
you got him?
fish. He is slippery. I'm going to hit you in
He's
the head.
very slippery.
Are they stuck?
But the taste of success.
It is. We're not stopping yet.
And ease him back into the water. There are certain rivers that I would take a new person that's just getting started. The Lower Illinois at Gore, Oklahoma is a great place for new people because it's an easy environment to fish in. But this is my favorite Oklahoma place.
I've been pond fishing before, paddle fishing, and fly fishing. There is a little bit different technique, so you do have to practice, and it really does help to have that person that's knowledgeable, and in my case had 20 years on me, and I'm only 24, so he's been at it a while and can really tell me the little things to look at.
There he is. You got him.
Got him.
You got him.
Woohoo! Number 2. He's, oh, I thought
Keep
he
it
was
tight.
gone.
Keep it tight. Okay, okay, you're there. You're there. There you're there. Just right over this direction. Whoa, easy. We got him.
Number 2. You weren't even.
Whoa!
I caught 2 on the first day, and it's been 2 weeks since it's been stocked. So next time I come back, I'll come the day after the river's been stocked. This is a rainbow trout. They're really slimy, as you can imagine. I mean, it's a fish. And we're at the Lower Mountain Fork River. Great little hole for trout fishing, and we're using a fly rod today with Mr. Clyde Ross. Oops.
And there
Way
you
to
go.
let him down easy, right?
You know, it's always a good idea to kind of brush up on the regulations before you wet that first line. You know, this is a prime example here of how trout fishing can offer something for everyone. Now let's head back up northwest to Roman Nose State Park and do a little bit more great trout fishing.
About 80 feet out there is the starting of a ledge, and it starts getting deeper. And about 80 feet out there, there's some 17-foot water. And the deepest I've seen on the fish finder or depth finder is over about 50 yards off of that corner over there is about 20, 21 feet. But seems like along in here, we've always done better just fishing right along in here. Now I've got a friend that fishes down there east of the general store and walks back up on one of the berms, and they always catch fish. They're always about the same size as the ones I catch and we catch. Come on, John. Yeah. It's worth the time to come down here because if I was at home, I'd just be sitting at home watching television or something like that.
Or working.
Or doing something that my wife wants me to do that I'm trying to get out of. Wanting it. I got him. I got him. He's not a great big one, but I got him. A little one feels like he weighs 3 or 4 pounds sometimes. Salmon eggs. And I just do have him.
You just did get him, didn't you?
Most usually when you feel one pull and they'll let up and they'll start again, and when they start again, that's when you want to set the hook. Or sometimes they bring it to you. And when they bring it to you, you can never get the slack out of the line. And you just finally have to work until you get the slack out of the line, and then you set the hook.
If you jerk it too hard, you can break your line, but if they've swallowed it, you're probably not going to hurt anything if you do jerk it hard. But I like to just set it easy. Keep your line tight. You don't want to give them any slack. You give them a little bit of slack line where they'll get off.
You know, as I mentioned before, it's important that you check the regulations out for the area you're going to trout fish, because not all the rules are identical at every spot. Some allow you to use artificial lures only, and some allow you to use bait. You know, another great aspect of trout fishing is that it allows you to connect with your friends in the great outdoors, just like this group of guys on the Lower Illinois River.
I started fishing down here in about 1969. I had a 68 El Camino that I used to load up my little brother in and my buddy. And we'd bring about 50 cans of Viennes and a couple of loaves of bread and some Mountain Dew and Pepsi. And sleep in the back of that thing, and we'd all be down here 3 or 4 days. Back then we used spinners, and we'd buy a can of corn at the grocery store and fish it on a salmon egg hook, and then we'd use salmon eggs also.
No wind at all. Ed, I came out last Friday by myself and went up to the old, where we usually go. It was nice. It was, caught about 5 and let them go back. I hope I'm not in over my wallet yet. Got my,
you might want to put that. Dennis, she got a good fight out of that fish and didn't even get to catch it. Far enough you can't hear the horn when they start water release.
Yes, sir.
Looky there.
I know, but I'm using that bait, so probably ought to be outlawed. Ed put me onto it, that salmon egg power bait.
We're going to put you in timeout if you keep doing this.
I'll have to go to timeout, and that's all right too.
That's another nice fish too.
Well, it's a nice fish. It'd be a keeper, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
He's going to shallow water.
Hal actually is acting like he knows what he's doing. That's what
well, I had a good teacher, and also
I think we have awoken a sleeping giant here.
You have the right bait. You can do a lot. He should jump off by the time I get him here, like a couple of them did last week.
It's a beautiful fish.
No, he's in the lip. Yeah.
Miss
he
number
should
4,
get off
boy.
or before I
I'll
get
check
him.
my hook.
Well, baby. Well, baby. That's a nice fish.
You know, when Hal figures
There he
out what
goes,
he's
there he
doing, he's going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have a hook on right now. I'm just practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And did they stock back in those years? Did they stock the trout?
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think there was as many big fish that I remember then as there are now. I get first fish you caught, Hal, I don't remember that we ever caught any that big.
Well, as we continue our virtual tour, let's now head down to south central Oklahoma to the Blue River Public Fishing and Hunting Area. Now, the Blue River, along with several other areas we've fished today, are owned by the Wildlife Department, and they've been purchased with sportsman's dollars from people just like you. This next group of guys we hook up with at the Blue River have been joining there to fish annually now for nearly 3 decades.
The beauty of this place is really unbelievable for here in Oklahoma.
When you look at this river and the beauty of the falls, I mean, it's just like a little piece of Colorado in Oklahoma.
The scenery is just a different experience. Clear, cold river and the trees and the rocks.
It's just really a spectacular place, and we just got hooked on it.
If the fishing's good, it's just a bonus. I'd come down here if I didn't even catch fish.
The core of our group has come for 20 to 25 years together. We just make it we come twice a year, sometimes more often than that.
Well, David, 25, 30 years ago, he told me about this place, and we came down, just started camping here, and we've been doing it every year since.
We started out 3 or 4 of us, and there was a time when it just progressed to be too big of a camp, but the core of our group has continued to come for 20 to 25 years.
We've come down here and been skunked before, and more than once, truth be known. But really, it's really just the whole area. The park is real clean. It's real nice. The camping is it's not real crowded. You feel like you kind of secluded, and it's just a relaxation.
But whether it's cold or whether it's warm or the fishing is good or it's not good, I've just never had a bad day at the Blue River. It's just a really enjoyable place to go and a real relaxed place to camp and fish.
I got 2 girls. I brought them down here. We've come down in the summer sometimes and just hang out and camp. They just love it here. It's just so beautiful. It's just nice.
Last stop on our trout tour today is Perry Lake in north central Oklahoma. The lake has a rich history, having been built during the CCC era. Even though it's one of the few trout places in the state that allow you to launch a boat on and fish from, there's still plenty of great access right from the bank, allowing you to fish practically all the way around. Also, keep in mind that there's a special city permit required at Perry, but the nominal fee is well worth the great fishing there. And just like all our trout areas in Oklahoma, you can see the stocking schedule for the whole season online at wildlifedepartment.com. We also compile a weekly fishing report with the help of locals at each area and our game wardens. Well, thanks for joining us today on our little virtual tour of Oklahoma's great trout fishing destinations. We hope that you'll put one or two of them on your list to visit this year. For all of us at your wildlife department, I'm Todd Craighead, and we'll see you right here next time on Outdoor Oklahoma.